so much for my high hopes of 2023 being boring. You want it to be boring. You don't want cases to crop up. But now we have this lady who has gone missing from Cohasset, Massachusetts. Now, Anna has been missing for a few days, and they've subsequently now arrested her husband, Brian Walshe. Now, Brian isn't the most honest person in the world, having just recently pled guilty to trying to sell Andy Warhol pictures that were fake. I believe that he was awaiting to find out how that would be, what the outcome of that would be. But Anna's been missing. What happened to her? We'll have a look together at where the case is currently. So what do we know? This is what we know. Anna Walshe and her husband live in Cohasset, Massachusetts, and they have 3 boys together between the ages of 2 and 6. Walshe is 5'2" and weighs 115 pounds. She has brown hair, brown eyes, olive complexion, and police says she speaks with an Eastern European accent. Friends of Walshe told News Centre 5 that she commutes to Washington, D.C. during the week to work for a real estate company, Tishman Speyer, a job she started within the last year. Cohasset Police Chief William Quigley said Walshe lives in a townhouse while working in the nation's capital and keeps a vehicle at that residence. So it's not uncommon for her to kind of travel and stay over, perhaps, if the job dictates. Now, when she went missing, they're saying Quigley said Walshe was simultaneously reported missing by her husband in Cohasset and her employer, Tishman Speyer, on Wednesday. Now, according to Quigley, a family member told police that they last saw Walshe at her Cohasset home between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. on New Year's Day. She does work in DC, and it's not abnormal for her to work long hours and not contact home, Quigley said. The family member told Cohasset police that Walshe was taking a rideshare from her home to Boston Logan International Airport in an attempt to catch an early flight to Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport on January the 1st. It's been reported that she was called to DC to handle some type of emergency at one of the properties that she manages. That's why she was attempting to go to DC New Year's Day. Quigley said Friday that Cohasset police have been in contact with rideshare companies and have so far been unable to confirm that she got into a rideshare vehicle outside her home. Recording devices in the neighborhood, such as Ring Home security cameras, have turned up no evidence of a rideshare vehicle arriving or leaving Walshe's home. Now, we're going to come back to this in a second because there has been developments, according to Quigley. In addition, the police chief said he was unable to confirm with all airlines that Walshe did not board a plane this week. So he was able to confirm no, she didn't get on a flight. She didn't leave the state. Walshe had a flight from Boston to Washington booked for January the 3rd, but Quigley said she did not board that flight either. Quigley said officers from the Metropolitan Police Department in D.C. searched the Washington townhouse but found no sign of Walshe there. That was the initial search. No electronic footprint. In a nutshell, there's been no active, nothing on her cards since January the 1st. Credit card, debit cards have been inactive. And they've gone on to say it's very difficult, as you know, to not leave a digital footprint of some description, whether that be CCTV or if you use a card, if you use a phone. As Brian Koberger found out most recently, it's hard to go anywhere without people knowing. She's a loving and loyal wife and mother of 3 beautiful boys, said Alyssa Kirby, one of Walshe's friends. She loves her family, and I know in my heart that of her choice, she would not go a day without speaking to her husband and her kids. Search effort. So Cohasset Police Department detectives, Massachusetts State Police detectives, and detectives from the Hingham, Hull, Norwell, and Scituate police departments have been involved in the search for Walshe. Officers from the Metropolitan Law Enforcement Council have also participated in the investigation. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office took the lead on Walshe's case on Sunday. On Friday, the Massachusetts State Police Special Emergency Response Team and a regional police team spent much of the day searching the area near Walshe's home along Chief Justice Cushing Highway, Route 3A. The search was called off for the night at approximately 6:30 p.m. after an area of approximately 1 square mile was covered. Now, the search for Walshe in that area resumed between 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. Saturday, but police said they were concluding their search at about 5:15 p.m. Authorities said 20 troopers from the MSP, Special Emergency Response Team, a specialised unit trained in search and rescue operations, as well as 3 K9 teams and a state police air wing unit searched wooded areas near Walshe's home with negative results for the second straight day. State police divers have also searched a small stream and a pool with negative results, according to authorities. The ground search will not resume unless police develop new information that so warrants it. Simultaneously, state police and Cohasset police detectives continue to undertake various investigative actions to determine Ms. Walshe's whereabouts, reads a joint statement from Cohasset and State Police. Investigators, however, returned to Walshe's home Sunday morning, while the DA's office said Cohasset and State Police detectives who went to Washington on Saturday to seek any possible evidence or information concerning Walshe's potential whereabouts were set to return from D.C. Now, anyone with information about Walshe's whereabouts is asked to contact Detective Harrison Schmidt at 781-383-1055, extension 6108, or by email at hschmidt@cohassetpolice.com. Cohasset Police have also set up a new email for tips, which is tips@cohassetpolice.com. This is where it gets interesting. Fire breaks out at former home. While law enforcement searched for Walshe on Friday, a fire broke out at her former home at 725 Jerusalem Road in Cohasset. Officials said the current residents of the home were the ones who called 911 when the fire began. A source tells 5 investigators that address is the home where Walshe resided until recently. Zillow shows the property was last sold on March 17th, 2022. Fire department officials said they worked for about an hour to douse the flames. Most of their work had to be done from the exterior because of safety concerns, including a partial collapse of the roof. 3 adults and a baby all exited the home safely, officials said. Quigley acknowledged the connection and said any possible connection between Walshe's disappearance and the fire would be investigated, calling it a highly strange coincidence. On Saturday, a spokesperson for the Massachusetts Department of Fire Services, also known as the State Fire Marshal's Office, told News Center 5 that Cohasset and state investigators determined that the fire at Walshe's former home was not suspicious. The DFS spokesperson said the fire started in an area of damaged piping that is connected to a natural gas fireplace insert. In a joint statement, State Police and Cohasset Police said the MSP Fire and Explosives Investigation Unit and local investigators determined that the cause of the fire at the Jerusalem Road property was accidental. Now look, husband arrested for misleading investigation. On Sunday, the Norfolk District Attorney's Office announced that police took 46-year-old Brian Walshe of Cohasset into custody on a charge of misleading a police investigation. During the course of their investigation, Cohasset and State Police developed probable cause to believe that Anna Walshe's husband had committed the crime of misleading police investigators. Brian Walshe is expected to be arraigned Monday morning in Quincy District Court, and authorities said additional facts may or may not be entered into the record at that time. So that, in a nutshell, is where we currently are in the disappearance of Anna Walshe. Friends say that 2023 was going to be the Walshe's year. They seem to, from the outside, look like a very, very happy family, albeit Brian has had situations in the past, fraud, so on and so forth. Does fraud make you a murderer? No, it doesn't, but it certainly puts eyes on you. They have some loyal friends who seem to be sticking up for them, and no one currently has seemingly come forward with credible information to say that there was anything likely nefarious to happen. But ultimately, she was supposed to be going somewhere. She didn't get on a plane. There was no evidence that she ever left that street. Yes, they've searched, they've had dogs in the area, but she didn't vanish off the face of the planet without someone helping her do so. More to come. I'll keep an eye, and as new stuff comes out, you'll get it. I'll speak to you all in the next one.